Welcome to One Guy, One Course, One Disc. We are here today at Camp David in East Ridge, Tennessee. So let's go take a look at the course. Hole 1 is a 476-foot par 4. It's going to go 160 feet down this tunnel, which is about 15 feet wide. And once you get out into the opening, you're going to want to start to turn to the left to get to the basket. It's about 235 feet from the bend to the basket, and once you finish hole number 1, hole number 2 is going to be behind you to the right. Hole 2 is a 264-foot par 3 that's straight and wide open, so it's really up to you how you want to get there. But once you finish hole number 2, hole 3 is going to be to the left down the wood line, and then it'll be in the woods on the right. Hole 3 is a 291-foot par 3 that's fairly straight. You do have a little bit of woods to get through, but it should be pretty easy. And then it's just wide open the rest of the way. Once you finish hole number 3, hole 4 is going to be to your right across the walking path. Hole 4 is a 450-foot par 4 that's straight for most of it and then bends slightly to the left. You do have that Mando left to contend with right off the tee, which is about 25 feet, but it should be pretty easy to hit. You ideally want to get to the right side of this fairway. It'll help make your second shot a little easier as it opens up the gap between the trees. But you do have to come in fairly soft so you don't skip too far into the wood line or possibly the river that parallels this hole. And once you finish hole number 4, hole 5 is going to be to your right. Hole 5 is a 215-foot par 3 with a Mando left 51 feet off the tee. And then this tree in front of us is 157 feet. And once you finish hole number 5, hole 6 is going to be to your right, then in the wood line on the left. Hole 6 is a 605-foot par 4. The first shot is very demanding, making you turn to the right and then finish left. It's 195 feet to these first set of trees. If you go to the left, you will not have a second shot, so make sure you get to the right. And then it's 240 feet from the start of that tree bunker to this gap here that we're coming up to. And then once you finish hole number 6, hole 7 is going to be to your right out of the tree line, and then you're going to go to the left. Hole 7 is a 421-foot par 3 that doglegs to the right. The Mando is 155 feet from the tee pad, and you do need to go to the left side of it where you want to start your turn to the basket. If you can't manage to get it there in one shot, your second shot will have to be low as these tree branches hang fairly low. So anything high will probably not get to the basket. But once you finish hole number 7, hole 8 will be ahead of you to the right. Hole 8 is a 263-foot par 3. It's 57 feet to the Mando which is a Mando left to keep your disc away from the walking path. It's a fairly straight shot though, and very wide open, so it shouldn't be too difficult of a shot. But once you finish hole 8, hole 9 will be on the other side of this pavilion here that's in front of us to the right. Hole 9 is a 224-foot par 3 that plays as an island green. The perimeter of the island is circle 1, so you do have to get it pretty close. And just be careful of those putts because you might wind up going out of bounds on your putt. But once you finish hole 9, hole 10 is to your left. Hole 10 is a 958-foot par 5. It's fairly open most of the way, so it shouldn't be too difficult of a hole. But you do have a Mando right at this power pole that we're coming up to, which is 473 feet from the tee box. Ideally, you do want to get as far right as possible on your first shot. This will allow your second shot to be a lot straighter, which will help take off distance on this hole. And once you pass the Mando, it's just another 485 feet to the basket, which is perched up on a slight hill right in front of a walking path. So you do need to be careful coming into the green, because if you come in too fast, you may skip OB by accident. And once you finish hole number 10, hole 11 is going to be to your right. Hole 11 is a 288-foot par 3 that's going to require a straight shot, as the two trees that are down the fairway do play as a double Mando. The tree on the left is at 229 feet, and the tree on the right is at 250 feet. This gap that you have to hit is about 50 feet wide, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But once you finish hole 11, hole 12 is going to be straight ahead of you, across the parking lot, across the walking path. Hole 12 is a 298-foot par 3. It's going to be about 140 feet to get through the tree tunnel. And after that, it opens up quite a bit, so it should be pretty manageable as long as you miss the trees. And then once you finish hole number 12, hole 13 is going to be to your right across the walking path. Hole 13 is a 525-foot par 4 that's going to go to the left and then turn back to the right. It's going to be about 249 feet to get to the corner. Ideally, you probably want to throw a lower shot to hopefully get a skip around here. If you can get it to here, this will make your second shot a lot easier, but you're going to need a left to right shot that will get around this bend and hopefully get close enough for an easy birdie. But once you finish hole 13, hole 14 is going to be to your left. Then you're going to come out of the woods, you're going to go to your right, and then right after some small soccer goals, there will be an opening in the woods on the right, and that will get you to hole 14. Hole 14 is a 281-foot par 3 that's going to go left to right. You don't have to go long before you need to start your turn, but you don't want to turn too hard. You want something that's going to turn softly and then finish hard. And once you finish hole 14, hole 15 is going to be behind us down the fairway. And as you're walking down the fairway, it's going to be to your right. Hole 15 is a 478-foot par 4 that's going to dogleg to the right. It's going to be about 180 feet to get out of this tree. And then it opens up for a little while before we have to go back through some more trees. But once you finish hole 15, hole 16 is going to be to your left. Then you're going to follow the tree line, and then the tee pad will be in the trees on the right. Hole 16 is a 299-foot par 3. It's 40 feet to get out of the tree line, and then it's just wide open the rest of the way. So you shouldn't have any issues getting to the basket. But once you finish hole 16, hole 17 is going to be to your left. Hole 17 is a 908-foot par 4 that's pretty much open most of the way. The only obstacle is this road. Anything on the road or beyond it to the left is OB. So it's up to you how you want to play this hole. You can play it further to the right and adding distance to the hole, but you will be safe. But if you want to play it as short as possible, you do have to hug this road for most of the hole. It's going to be about 597 feet to get to this first trench that we're coming up to right here. So hopefully on your second shot, you're getting over this trench. And then from there, it's only 311 feet to the basket. The basket does play as a peninsula, which is marked out by flags. But once you finish hole 17, hole 18 is to the right. Hole 18 is a 412-foot par 3 that's wide open and straight. The only thing that really makes this hole challenging is that the basket is up on this mound that we're coming up to, so you do need to be careful on your putts because a rollaway is very possible, and an easy 2 can become a very painful 4. But once you finish hole 18, the parking lot will be to the left. Now that you've seen the course, let's take a look at today's disc. It is going to be the Innova Leopard. It is a 6.5 -2-1, so let's see how it flies. Oh. Get out of it. Dang it. No, too straight. Oh, yes! Oh, drop to the floor. So there you have the Leopard at Camp Jordan in East Ridge, Tennessee. As far as the disc goes, I liked it. It's I bought this, I mean, this was a brand new disc. It's a Champion plastics. It's a little more overstable than what it than their other plastics, but I get some turn. It held anhyzer well. It did fight back just a little. So I would personally recommend getting the Leopard, maybe in a star plastic. If you are a true beginner, I think the whole DX line of Innova is great for beginners. When I first started playing, that's what I was using. So I would definitely recommend getting the Leopard. If you're just starting out, definitely get the DX plastic. As far as the course goes, it's a great course for a rec park. Some things you just do need to be aware of. Some of the holes are close to walking paths, so you got to watch out for pedestrians. So all the navigation is on the T sign. So at the bottom of the T signs, you'll find where the next hole is. However, some of the holes would be nice if there were signs down the fairway to help you a little bit better. Parking is a little hard to find, but if you basically go to the RV parking spots, hole number 1 is in that parking lot, so you can park right by it. But all in all, it's a great course. Definitely come check it out if you're in the Chattanooga area. Until next time, off to the next course.